is John, I'm from Final Boss Fight, and I'm here once again with...
Matthew from PQube.
And this time I have a microphone. And so hopefully we're going to be able to hear this interview. So tell us a bit, what are you showing at this show this weekend?
So we've got a lot of different games. We've got 8 different games that we bring into the PC Gamer Weekender. Most of them are indie titles. We've been busy over this last few months signing up indie games from around the world, and we're ready to finally unveil some of what we've signed up.
So let's start at this end. You've got Cat Quest.
Yes, so Cat Quest actually came out at the tail end of last year. Pun wasn't intended there, but it was quite good anyway. I'll stick with it. It
fits in.
Yeah.
We'll leave it in the edit.
So Cat Quest is by a Singapore team called the Gentle Bros, and it's out on PC. It's also out on PS4 and on Switch as well. It's an action RPG in which you play a cat who is the Dragonblood, who is capable of slaying dragons. Now, at the start of the game, your sister is kidnapped, and you want to chase after the cat who catnapped her, all the while helping the denizens of Feelingard to defeat the dragons and perhaps stop some other mischievous folks as well.
So sort of stereotypical RPG, but you're a cat.
Yeah, pretty much. So like it's an isometric viewpoint that takes place on the world map, so it looks a bit like Diablo, but cute and cutsy and cartoony. Really easy to dip in and out of the combat mechanics. So there's a simple attack and roll maneuver, but you've also got on the 4 triggers if you play with a pad, or 1 to 4 on the keyboard, up to 4 spells that you can equip. You get more spells, but you can choose 4, power them up individually, and then combine them in very devious ways.
Right.
So my hot tip if you're going to play Cat Quest is to power up the freeze spell and the trap spell. You want to put spikes on the floor and then freeze people so they can't get off them, and it kills them so quickly.
Hot tips you've heard here first.
Yes, yeah, that was my tactic of beating it.
And I'm guessing there's a lot of cat puns from the brief moment I played or saw playing of it.
There are many cat puns. I think the pause screen says it all. You can imagine what else there is in it.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So next up, you've got Nippon Marathon, which I seem to remember you talking about in October MCM.
Yeah, so we were... it's kind of a good job that there was no audio in that interview, actually, because I wasn't really supposed to talk about it, so I got away with it.
You were very tired.
I was very tired. So Nippon Marathon, we technically announced yesterday. So yes, you missed a big scoop there. So Nippon Marathon we announced yesterday, and we released it into early access yesterday.
Right.
Now the best way of describing Nippon Marathon is imagine Takeshi's Castle, the Japanese game show, was spliced with micro machines, or to be more accurate, Micromaniacs, but it's a bit more of a niche reference. So it's a up to 4-player party racing game.
Right.
Split into rounds, so if you drop off the end of the screen, you're out of that round. You're then back in at the start of the next round. The goal is to race across Japan, beat the other people while retaining your popularity, which is a combination of doing well in mid-race interviews and not knocking over people who are watching the race and doing lots of other hidden things.
Yeah, I noticed I knocked over quite a few people in the race. They didn't like that.
No.
They didn't like that very much.
No, you pick up fruit and throw it or leave it on the floor for people to fall into. There's lots of craziness that goes on in the game. Like, it's really playing with wacky physics and roaming packs of wild Shiba Inu who want to knock you off cliffs, giant face-slapping fish, all sorts. It really is just a fun, colourful, crazy party game that's designed to have you and up to 3 friends sitting in the same room just having a good time.
Which, we like that type of game.
Definitely.
Next up is Razzed.
So Razzed or Raised it's a single-player speedrunning game. So it's it's kind of like 3D Sonic meets Super Meat Boy, or like a 3D Bit Trip Runner.
Interesting.
So it's all about speedrunning. So I'm a big fan of F-Zero GX back in the day. I would play the same race over and over again, hitting restart, just trying to get those world records, right? So Raised is like the perfect game for me. There's an instant restart button for every level, and you just want to get the best leadable time possible. Now, one of the cool quirks with Raised is that the deeper into the game you get, you unlock more abilities, and you can upgrade the abilities that you have. So initially, you might only be able to get C and D ranks when doing a level. But when you unlock, say, the jump ability, a wall run ability, a stomp ability, suddenly those levels open up in new and interesting ways. And you can explore them in about a third or quarter of the time that you could before.
And then Stay?
So Stay is a game that we announced last month, and it's coming out at the end of March or perhaps the start of April. We haven't quite nailed
Sometime around then.
Yeah, that sort of window. Stay is probably best described as a visual novel with a bit of a twist. So when the game starts out, you see a video that shows Quinn, who is our main character, being kidnapped and then waking up in a locked room, not knowing how he got there. The only thing that's in that room is a computer. He turns it on, he goes onto like an internet chat room. He doesn't have the whole of the internet, sadly. He just has this chat room.
HowToEscapeALockedRoom.com. Damn.
And there is someone else in this chat room, and that is you. So you don't play as Quinn, you play as this person on the other side of the PC talking to this guy who's been kidnapped, and you have to help him out of the predicament. How has he got there? How does he escape? It's for you to like pick and choose how you respond, and also when you respond. So something that Stay does, which is very unique, is that it's set in real time.
Right.
So if you turn off the game, don't come back for a day, for 2 days, Quinn's going to know about it, and
Quinn's
he's going to be
nuts,
upset.
wondering where you've been.
Yeah, if you leave him too long, well, think what happened if you left a Tamagotchi too long, right? So there are
covered in poop.
many. It gets worse. There are many different endings. There are quite a few deaths as well that's possible if you go the wrong route. It's a game that's designed to be replayed to see what else you've missed, and also to be played with. So what if you do leave him for a week and come back? What would happen? So it's a really, really interesting adventure novel game that's out very soon.
And then Muddle Dash.
So Muddle Dash is, like Nippon Marathon, another local multiplayer game.
Yes.
So this is for 2 to 4 people, and it is it's like speedrunners with octopuses. So if you're
I was
familiar with
saying earlier, I've not seen any other games around with the subtitle Multiplayer Octopus Party Madness.
No,
and we had to go and have a look at it.
Yeah, I don't think there are any other multiplayer Octopus Party Madness games out there.
So, there's a new genre there.
Exactly. We were there first. So, nice and simple, 2 to 4 people, play any round. You have to get to the party. There's a party at the end of every level, but you have to be the person to turn up to the party with a present. So you grab a present.
You don't want to turn up empty, tentacled.
You grab a present, you run to the end of the level, you take it to the party. If you don't have a present, well, you can trip those up who do by kicking them or by flinging stuff at them. There's only one present, so only one person's going to win every round. It's a mad scramble to get to the end of the level. Each level is also procedurally generated, so you're not going to have the same level twice. So you never quite know what's coming up around the next round.
There's already 5 on it.
Platigo.
So Platigo, or its subtitle, which isn't on that board right now, which is Super Platform Game Maker, is what its subtitle says. So it is a 2D platform game maker. It's a way of building, testing and sharing levels and games in a matter of seconds or minutes.
Right.
So you build up a 2D platform game, you can toggle everything from whether your character can double jump and how high they can jump, to whether platforms move or are static, to enemy placements and timing of like circular saws that move around, all this kind of stuff. Share it with your friends. Now, two things that are really cool about Platigo. First of all is that there's, in the top right hand corner, there's a button which you can press and change the graphic style of the entire game.
Right.
So you can toggle between different retro consoles. So with one click, you can turn it into what looks like a SNES game, or a NES game, or a Sinclair, or a Commodore 64 game, or
all those gaming platforms that we grew up with.
Yeah, so you
I speak as an older gamer.
My favourite one is the original Game Boy, actually, because it's such a unique visual style that it's just unmistakably Game Boy-esque. So that's really cool. The other element that goes hand in hand with that is that there is one toggle that's called User, and what User does is actually import the sprites that you put into it.
Right.
So you can create your own characters and create your own animations,
say
your own textures.
If we happen to have a little gaming character on our logo, maybe we could make.
You could import that, and suddenly that is the protagonist of the game that you have made. So it's a really powerful tool that lets you not only play with the hundreds and hundreds of different options that are already pre-baked into the game, but will then let you go one further and play with your own things as well, and then share those with the wider world. So it's a really, really powerful tool. It's coming out pretty soon. It's going to be very, very, very reasonably priced as well, because we want a lot of people to get in to make a lot of really cool stuff and share it with the world and really grow this game to be something massive.
And then you've got Agelos.
Yeah, so Agelos or Agelos, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
I want to pronounce it wrong,
Let's
probably.
Go Agelos. You know what? I don't actually know whether it's Agelos or Agelos.
I usually go with the wrong way anyway, so you know.
So I love this game. I've been playing this game obsessively over the last 2 weeks. So if you are a fan of the Wonder Boy games, in particular the Monster World sub-series, which has a Metroidvania-style world setup, this is the absolutely perfect game for you. So it's like a modern-day Wonder Boy
sounds good.
With more involved combat. So there have been a couple of Wonder Boy reboots recently, or rather there's the Wonder Boy one that's out now, there's Monster Boy as well that's coming in the near future that looks really cool. Agelos is unapologetically 16-bit in its visuals and its sound, so it's not going for a more cartoony, modern graphical style. It knows,
not updating what doesn't need to.
No, like, it is a beautiful, beautiful game. It's a 16-bit style game, and it's really effective. 16-bit style games made in modern day just look phenomenal. But from a gameplay perspective, it does, push the boat out a little bit versus what you experienced back on the Master System and on the Mega Drive Genesis, if you're an American viewer. It's really involved. You can unlock like different combat abilities that let you almost go Dante Devil May Cry style on your enemies by like hopscotching, like pogo sticking with your sword on people, do an upward dash to
always fun.
Move up in the air, and then like dashing across. And you can clear entire screens of enemies in just a few fluid moves. So it's a really inventive game that is still feels like a true 16-bit era Wonder Boy game. It is amazing how, if you go back and play those original games, some of them have aged great, some of them less so. It's like, oh, this isn't quite what I remember. Agelos is, imagine if you went back and you played the game and it's exactly as you remember and loving it. That's precisely what Agelos is. So it's the perfect 16-bit Wonder Boy game that you never actually played when you were a kid.